Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Mass Effect. In the last episode, we finished off the Project Overlord DLC in a wonderful conclusion. I do really like that DLC. The next one is better though. But, unfortunately, now we don't get good DLC, we get... Well, okay, well... I was gonna say I don't want to shit on this DLC too much before we started it, but also I don't want to praise it too much because I am not a fan of it. What we will be doing this episode, and this episode only, is the loyalty mission for Zaeed, which is Zaeed, the Price of Revenge, which was DLC, early DLC. And it's probably, for me, the weakest DLC in the game. Okay, it's not quite as bad as Normandy Crash Site, but it's also not free like Normandy Crash Site was. And it's just, well, you know, I'll have ample time during the level itself to express all of my grievances. For now, I got 2 planets to scan. So, with that done, let's go to planet Zoria. Mud, sweat, and spores is how Blue Sun's mercenaries characterize the planet that gave birth to their home office. This lush garden world is known for its heavy plant and fungal life and creating spectacular jungle zones over much of its 8 continents. Despite persistent problems with rot and rust, Zoria attracts investors and corporations from all throughout the galaxy since it has exploited only a fraction of its potential resources. The Blue Suns dominate security contracts on Zoria, so much that residents describe them as less like a monopoly and more like a conquering regime. That's land. So obviously we have to take Zaeed with us, but as our other partner, I'm going to take Jacob. In terms of levels, they're all about where I want them to, except for Jacob's got a lot of extra ones, so I'm going to give him the final level of Incendiary Ammo. We've not actually seen the evolution options for an ammo power yet, so we get Inferno Ammo, this is for Incendiary, which is an explosive charge spreads the ammunition's payload on impact, potentially igniting the target and nearby enemies, which is pretty cool, but I'm actually going to go for Squad Incendiary Ammo, which is your entire squad gains the effect of your incendiaries, allowing you to spread pain and panic in a very literal crossfire. I'm actually going to go for that, so that gives me and Zaeed the advantage of it as well, and that's quite handy on this particular mission. With that done, everyone's leveled, got what they should. I want to take the art projector for myself. Let's go.
Tapping into Blue Sun's communications. Stay tight and look out for ambushes.
So, goal at this point is to liberate the refinery. I'm going to put Jacob on Squad Incendiary Ammo, which, as you'll notice, now puts my weapon on Incendiary Ammo, which is wonderful, and I'll do the same for the Locust. This turns the Locust into a very literal flamethrower, it's great. And then you'll notice as well, his is red, and as is Zaeed's. So everyone has incendiary weapons, which is quite cool for this mission. Disruptors obviously can be useful if you're against a lot of shielded or synthetic foes, but we're not here.
Bravo, a shuttle landed near your location. Check it out.
Here we go. Keep close.
My usual complaints go about the squad mates conversation is going to be heard if you're physically close to them.
Shot in the back and left to rot. That's definitely Vito's style. Let's push ahead.
I'd much prefer if they came over radio or something like that, and then you could always rely on actually hearing them. Oh, that's a hijack. They seem to be everywhere. It's quite a nice looking planet, this, if a little weirdly coloured. Like, I know my monitor has shit colours, so everything's a bit too purple for me anyway, but even so.
Take a position. Likely these people are not runaways.
Even so, it feels very kind of red balanced. What does it look like on the actual recording? Yeah, it's still a bit overly red. Other than that, scenery-wise, it reminds me of the first level of... It reminds me of the first level of Halo 3, the Sierra 117, when you're like going through the jungle. As you can see, so the main advantage of incendiary stuff is it hits just harder, it's got a nice oomph to it. I'm being really ballsy out in the open. Oh, right in the bum. It also, you're not really seeing it with the sniper because it's killing M1, but any enemies hit by it will start to panic and try and desperately put themselves out. Oh, that's what I need to do. I need to map powers. I should really have gotten cover before I did that. There's a real chance I'm going to die, so I'm going to use Unity just to make sure. Let's put pull and concussive shot on. Well, that was a bit of a waste of meta-gel. Yeah, I see him there, like, freaking out. Not that you usually notice it with the sniper, but yeah, it's just... Incendiary ammo is more powerful than disruptor ammo, where you're against like normal enemies rather than synthetics or enemies with shields or anything like that. Well, speaking of synthetics, we'll take him out and let's hack one of these guys. That wasn't hacking, that was fire. Well, you know, there we go. Oh, that heavy there has shields. But shields are rare enough on this, and pyros are the fun part, because if you kill a pyro, as you saw there, with an incendiary thing, bye-bye, off you go. If you kill a pyro with an incendiary thing, they explode as well, because we don't have anyone with overload at the moment, so... Oh, bugger, ow. God, they do really stun you, rockets, when they hit you. Oh, you go back and fight her, please. Go, shoot. Run, boy. You're free now. Or not. Fine, I'll do it myself. Wow, that was amazing. That was just a huge advantage of the sniper snare. Good words there. Sniper. Slow down. Slow down. God damn it. Yeah. Like I was saying, well, never mind that for now.
This is Commander Santiago. If any of you retreat while the intruders are still alive, I'll kill you myself. Now get the hell back out there.
Vito. Sounds like he hasn't changed.
I get the feeling you have a past with this, Vito.
I knew he was a sadistic bastard back when we started the Blue Suns. The Suns only got meaner after he staged his little coup 20 years ago. So yeah, we have a past.
Why didn't anyone tell me you founded the Blue Suns?
Because it's not common knowledge. Vito wiped me out of the records. He ran the books, I led the men. Worked real well for a while. Then Vito decided to start hiring Batarians. Cheaper labor, he said. Goddamn terrorists, I said.
20 years is a long time to hold a grudge.
A grudge? Vito turned my men against me. He paid 6 of them to restrain me while he put a gun to my head and pulled the trigger. For 20 years, I've seen that bastard every time I closed my eyes. Every time I sighted down on a target. Every time I heard a gunshot. Don't you call that a goddamn grudge?
You survived a gunshot to the head?
Yeah. And you survived your ship getting disintegrated. A stubborn enough person can survive just about anything. Rage is a hell of an anesthetic.
We better get moving.
Direct to Southern Access. All squads mass at the gatehouse. Now!
They know we're here. Bring it on, you son of a bitch!
So there we kind of see is I've talked about this briefly before, but one of the things I very much don't like about this mission, well not this mission, well this DLC as a whole is I don't really like the character of Zaeed. He's not a very sympathetic character to me, he's just a bit of a bastard, but, well, let's go on and see what happens here.
Zaeed Masani, you finally tracked me down.
Vito.
Don't be stupid, Zaeed. I have a whole company of bloodthirsty bastards behind me, ready to kill or be killed on my command. Actually, take your shot. Give my men a reason to put you down like the mad dog you are. Again. What was that? Gone nearsighted, old friend.
Burn, you son of a bitch.
You just signed your death warrant, Masani.
What the hell are you doing?
Opening the gate.
We're here to free these people. Why the hell would you blow up the refinery?
I came here to kill Vito Santiago. You want my help on your mission, you better make damn sure that man dies today.
This isn't the time. We'll discuss this later.
Once Vito's dead, we can discuss anything you want.
Yeah, a little bit callous there, to say the bloody least. Oh, those are people. Well, they certainly were. Wow, they did not last long. We've got a nice combination here in Jacob and Vito. Zaeed, you can pull people into the air with Jacob's pull and then concussive blast them, and concussive blast does a shit ton. Anyway, we've got some palladium here, and I'm going to save here. And I'll explain why shortly.
Help! We're trapped! We can't get to the gas valves to shut them off! The whole place is gonna blow!
No time. Vito's probably halfway to the shuttle docks by now.
You're willing to watch these people die?
Damn right I am. We stop to help these people and Vito gets away. And if he gets away, I'm blaming you.
So, this is why I save, because here you have a choice. You can either save the workers, or you can go straight up to Vito, and this choice has fairly severe consequences. And we're going to do something strange. Visuals, please, future Doctor. I'm going to show you the route that we're not doing, but I'm going to commentate over it. This is the Renegade route, where we go straight after Vito.
Let's get moving before Vito gets away.
Glad you see it my way.
No! Help! No!
So you will hear, throughout this entire section, screaming in the background, as everyone dies. And it's really rough. Yes, you will see as I go on why I'm kind of not taking this route, because yeah, the two routes do have very different conclusions for the mission. I do really like the Locust with incendiary ammo. It is literally a flamethrower. Now, we need to get up to that door, but if we approach it, it blows up. Fortunately, I think it killed that bloke behind us there. Whoopsie daisy. Let's take the arc projector for a spin. Haven't used that in a while. Just throw some arcs into a crowd. That should be fun. Oh, where did that other arc go? That really didn't do what I hoped it would do. One of them just shot straight up into the wall. Well, let's see if we can kill that pyro. That wasn't the pyro. That's the pyro. Whee! Yeah. Oh, it is a bit visceral when they explode. They explode and there's like blood and goo goes everywhere. So not only does this route... So this route is very different to the other routes. But also you do get some unique dialogue from Vito during it, I believe. And this is the other important thing. There's a research terminal here. If we access it,
This should come in handy.
assault rifle damage. So, you'll note I'm going to do something quite strange. I'm going to cross that assault rifle damage off the visualizer, but in red, which I usually reserve for ones that I've missed, because, despite the fact I'm doing it, we're not doing this route. Everything you currently see is not going to happen. I'm phrasing this terribly, I'm sure, but oh dear, oh dear. But yes, therefore, I want to make it clear that we have specifically missed the opportunity to get that assault rifle damage upgrade, because there is another upgrade when you go the other way. It's not an assault rifle damage one, and they are mutually exclusive. You can only get one of them. So here I'm kind of showing off deliberately the route that we didn't take. One more shot with that, and then we'll swip over to the Locust. By swip, I mean swap, obviously. But yeah, while Zaeed is a kind of useful character in-game, he is not an appealing character, and it's one of the reasons I don't like this DLC particularly, because he's just... I guess they kind of wanted a renegade-ish character because everyone's a bit too nice, maybe, was the logic. I don't know what it was, but can't say I'm a huge fan. Anyway, at this point, the two tracks have converged. If you were to take the other routes, then you would come out here. And indeed, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
We're here to free these people. We're going in.
I knew this was a mistake. If we're gonna do this, we'd better get to it.
So, as you can see here, we've definitely now come down a different route, and this is what actually happened. I know this is a confusing way of doing it, but it's a lot of differential gameplay that I kind of needed to show off. Let's bypass this door. Yeah, like there were two options which needed to be shown off, and this would be a lot of footage to like put without commentary or anything like that. And like, right. So I've spoken to some people about this, but I'm curious, drop a comment about what you think about the kind of showing alternative pathway system, because certainly when I've kind of run this past test audiences, so here what we need to do is redirect fuel from these various sources to shut them off. No enemies through here, which is quite nice. A lot of the kind of the test audiences with Mass Effect preferred it when preferred it when I showed what didn't happen first, and then kind of showed what did happen, rather than showing what actually happened and then at the end going back and showing the alternative pathways. Because I guess then that means the last thing you saw is what really happened. And, oh dear. I need to run through, oh no, I don't need to run through that. The last thing you saw was what really happened, so it kind of means it's freshest in your mind rather than confusing you, but I don't know. Let me know what people think on it. This feels like they've lifted some of these models, like this map geometry here, almost directly from Vulcan Station in Project Overlord. It feels very similar, certainly. But yeah, so do let me know what people think about the vision system for showing alternative pathways. It's not too late to change it, I suppose. Anyway, from here we can turn the fire extinguishers off. On, even. We turn the fire extinguishers on. We turn the fire off! And with that done, we can access research terminal. So this gives us heavy weapon ammo, and that's the real one. So that's the one we're actually going to keep. With that done, there's some very happy workers down there. Look at us, we saved their lives. The issue is, Vito's a bit far ahead of us now, so I'm sure that won't come back to bite us in the ass. And we are now back by this Palladium, which marks the point where the two tracks converge. And we now move on. Here's something new.
I'll take it.
The M451 Firestorm. So this is a heavy weapon, and it's a flamethrower, which is wonderful, so I'm going to use that for a little bit. It's not the best heavy weapon, because it has to be, as you can imagine, extremely close range for it to actually be effective. It is extremely effective at close range. If you observe, come and find these guys. Takes them out pretty bloody quickly, but you have to be within, like, well, that far probably is about its maximum range. The things I tend to use heavy weapons against tend to be like big mechs and stuff like that, against which a flamethrower isn't really useful, but it's one of the very few weapons in the game which is really good at crowd control stuff, so it certainly has its advantages, and I'll show it off a little bit, but... So, this bit, as I say, would be the same had you gone the other route. The only difference is you get much, well, not much difference. You get very different dialogue if you... oh, I accidentally hacked that guy rather than burning him. Yeah, had you gone straight after Vito, you do get different dialogue here, but I'm not going to bother showing that. Oh, there's a pyro down there. So, there's these fuel canisters up on the ceiling, which, if you are lucky... Oh, I hacked it again, god damn it. So here all we need to do is basically hold this position, because there are a lot of blue suns just being thrown at you, and they come from the left and right, and hopping out of cover here is extremely dangerous, for any reason, really. So, I tend to just stay in cover. Oh, someone's dead, Zaeed's dead, and oh! Both are dead. That's problematic. Let's heal them up. Right. That's much better. Oh god, there's fire happening. Oh, they've ended up flanking us behind. This can... Were we not doing it so late in the game, this could be actually quite a difficult fight, because there is a lot going on, especially now that those tanks in the ceiling are starting to rupture. Zaeed, what are you doing all the way over there? You silly man. Yeah. It is really handy. I do really like having biotic powers on things. So, we've got these tanks which now slide left and right, spraying fire, which is one of the reasons why I'm standing in the middle, to avoid all of that bullshit. You can dislodge them. Once they're moving around, you can dislodge them from the ceiling, like that, which can be quite helpful. There's a guy behind you again, Zaeed.
Heavy weapon, get down.
I'm gonna grab some ammunition. I'm actually running surprisingly low on locust ammunition. I need to sneeze! I sneeze. Bloody hell, that came out of nowhere. You know when a sneeze just kind of sneaks up on you? Oh, I should say at this point as well, this is the first recording session. Partway through my mad load of travels. Halfway through. I've spent a week in Florence and a week driving around everywhere in the UK. And so now I've got one brief week back home before, well, it's what, Tuesday now? No, it's Wednesday today. And on Sunday I'm leaving for Belgium for a week, so I need to quickly record a couple of episodes of Mass Effect to tide me over during that time. Still really warm here, which I was bitching about a couple of episodes ago. It was really funny being in Florence, because Florence, obviously being in Italy, is a lot warmer than the UK, even under current kind of conditions. But the thing there is they're prepared for it. So everywhere is nicely air conditioned, and people don't do stuff in the middle of the day and stuff like that. And it's amazing seeing the difference in, if we nip in here, we can get various industrial bits for £6 which is quite nice. And there's another set on the other side. But yeah, it makes a hell of a difference when you have a country that's actually prepared for really hot weather, rather than a country like Britain, which isn't. because obviously this kind of weather is highly unusual for us. I'm actually going to briefly switch back to Disruptor ammo, because otherwise he will rinse me if I'm not careful. Oh, he might rinse me anyway. I just need to take those shields down quickly, and then we're onto his armor. We're fine. We're not fine. Oh god, oh god, oh god. We're having problems. You kind of need to stay on the other side to him. There we go. Once the shields are down, there we go. We can lay into him properly and switch back to... Incendiary is very nice against armor, so obviously Incendiary... Incendiary with... That didn't work. Incendiary with the sniper rifle is really powerful. If I can just get one shot off him... Whoop! Bugger! Oh, that didn't mean to... Shit, I meant to hack him. Oh, I'm so boned! Hopefully you won't see me here. I'm hiding in plain sight. Sneaky, sneaky. How is this working? Oh, it's not working! Hack him! Run! I just need to briefly buy myself a second to run the fuck away. Right, we should be all good now. I got a bit of distance between me and him, and that's what I needed. Help! That didn't help me at all! Right, there we go. Let's take his head off. Oh! Literally took his head off! Oh, and it's going to do the super nuclear explosion. That's very cool. I think that's the same animation of when you fire off the cane, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, I don't think there's anything through this door. Unless there's more various industrial bits. There aren't. This is just where enemies spawn in from. So, at this point, when you go through the door, the final cutscene will play. The final cutscene, as I've said, is extremely different, depending on how you got here. So, had we got here through the Let's Chase Vito route, this would happen.
Zaeed, please. You know it was nothing personal, just business, I swear. It was 20 years ago. Look at you. I did you a favor. Zaeed, please! I'm gonna die here, man! Do something!
Try, you son of a bitch.
But, of course, that's not what happened, and based on what happened there, you can imagine that it's going to be quite different because we dilly-dallied on the way over to him, so let's see how this plays out.
This time, Zaeed, you son of a bitch. See you in another 20 years.
You just cost me 20 years of my life. Ah, son of a bitch. Ah.
You started this fire, Zaeed. It makes sense that you'll burn in it.
Yeah, screw you. Now come on, get me out of this shithole.
You put your revenge ahead of the mission. How can I trust that you'll be there when we need you?
I'll do what I was gonna paid to do, Shepard. Just don't expect any more than that. Now stop screwing around. Let's go.
So, bit of a choice here. So if you do the other route, you get Zaeed's loyalty, even if you have to be a bit of a bastard to get it. This way, the only way you can retain Zaeed's loyalty here, or earn his loyalty, is by this charm option here. If you choose the other ones, then he comes with you, but he is not loyal to you.
You put your own goals ahead of the mission. That is not the way this works.
I've survived this long watching my own back. No time to worry about anyone else.
You're part of a team now, Zaeed. There's no way we can do this unless we're all working together.
You have a point. I'm not done with Vito, but I can put that behind me long enough to get your mission done. Let's get the hell out of here.
So yeah, that is Zaeed, the Price of Revenge. As I say, it's interesting to have Zaeed mechanically, but I'm not sure that mission alone, which I was able to do in a single episode, is really worth the price tag on it. It's not a particularly interesting mission, not much happens in it, and it feels like there's no real good resolution of it. I don't particularly like that charm resolution. I've gone for it, obviously, because it's the only way to have both the Paragon route and Zaeed's loyalty, which is somewhat important. But it's just, it feels like I guess that's supposed to trying to do that deliberately, being like, whichever way you choose, bad things happen. There's not a right answer, but I can't say I massively care about it. Anyway, let's briefly head back to the Normandy. So, we unlocked a heavy weapon ammunition research job, so I will quickly research that. Other than that, we've got basically everything that we've got access to has been researched, which is quite nice, so let's research that one. Bit of iridium and 75% heavy weapon ammo capacity. That is very good to have now. And finally, so next episode we're going to be doing our final dossier, which is Dossier the Justicar. Justicar Samara, biotic strength near that of an Asari matriarch, extensive weapons training. Samara is a Justicar, a rare member of an Asari monastic group trained in enhanced combat biotics alongside standard weapons. Samara was recently sighted on Ilium, outside normal Asari space. That's what we're going to be doing next episode, and I hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.